Hi, it's Victoria, and I am here to read to you some chant selections from Jubilee Zinevella, Third Time's a Charm edition. It is 7:32 p.m. on Thursday, August 27th, 2020, and I'm in my front yard. I have arranged the Jubilee Zinevella customized copies here, hanging from the side of my daughter's playhouse called Wish House. And I'm going to read a chant selection from each copy. And let's see. I'm looking at myself in the StreamYard window. That's why my gaze is a little down for the most part. I'm going to read a chant selection from each copy, and let's see what happens. So, okay, here we go. Hope you can hear me. I'm using my mom's earbuds. I tested the mic. It seemed to work okay. Okay, so maybe, let's see, I will work from top to bottom, left to right in terms of copies. Jubilee Zinevella is a story that I've been working on since 2018. It's set in a near future fictional version of 2020 Burning Man. When I started writing the story, I didn't know that there would be no real Burning Man this year, but now I know that. And let's see if I can reach this one. Let's see if I can reach it. Maybe I can get my little stool. Let's get it. So I'm just going to pick a passage randomly and read to you from it for as long as it feels right. And then I'll move on to the next one and see what that one has in store for us. You can see my scion in the background. I'm going to sit right here. Okay. So this copy is called Fake Blood. And can you see me? Sorry, I was going to use my stool as a table, but I think I'll be able to do that soon. Or maybe I can do it this way. Okay. So Fake Blood. A vampire's ethics, said Adam and smiled. Wasn't it vampires who couldn't enter a place unless invited? In that way, it sounds kind of cunning nonetheless, huh? She said, wishing she could have and practice perfect ethics and not feel like she was constantly leaning on the no ethical consumption and the capitalism excuse to make herself feel better. She wallowed in her murky, blurry ethics and wondered about her urge to feel blurry, to seek stupor. Why was she like that? Okay, that's a selection from Fake Blood. Okay. Next, let's get this one back up here. Next, we have Jazzy Roomba. What does Jazzy Roomba have to say? Let's see. Sorry. She was in the passenger seat, so sleepy, so acid-washed and happy-washed, determined not to fall asleep, to stay alert as her teamwork. Then, in the midst of her surrealist passenger's wake state, from behind the wheel, cruising down a Midwest one-lane highway, Starlet turned and said to her, "OMG, I just had a dream you were my cousin sitting there, all earnest and honest in a flutter, still driving, dreaming and driving, still safe on the road." Though fascinated and somewhat impressed, and maybe also halfway dreaming in the same way, "Now it's time to let me drive," she said, sure the driving would keep her from dreaming. No dreaming and driving, she said to herself. And they pulled over and she drove, the only one awake, focused on the road, safe back to her 2001 dorm room. She stirred from her 2020 dream and its reverb. She returned to her surroundings. The festival and its everything. She blinked. Okay. So many chords entangling. Maybe I should just leave these down once I get them down. That's probably good. Okay. Next up is boxing, jogging. How she had never seen this ritualistic kicking before Cyberfest 2000, but understood it as something common at large-scale California raves. Scavengers lingering, ground scoring, making the best of it. How she had left her metal Turkish gold tin with her ID and money in it on the concrete outside the house dome at Cyberfest 2000. Got her ID but not her money back in the mail a few weeks later with a note. Hot. How she felt grateful that the scavenger who ground scored and kept her money decided to send her back the ID, had made the value calculation to give that back. She mused on her lifelong draw towards scrounging and scavenging, hand-me-downs and found items. For example, the length of blue tinsel she picked up in the college parking lot that same year, 2000, tied it in her hair and went dancing. How her relationship to abandoned or forgotten things inflected as she got older. How she would rather now, at least in part of her heart, not take somebody else's headlamp that they were maybe coming back for. How when she was younger, she'd think, I can take better care of and appreciate that thing. Ooh. Okay. Next is this copy. Sun is setting. This one's name is Shadow Journey. Let's see what Shadow Journey says. She wavered, no low resolution, no answer, no exit. Her feet barely touched the ground. She almost floated across the field. She felt moire, like parallel versions of herself intersected at a slight angle. She felt knit. She was wearing cashmere, knit with frosted tips, a fuzzy bundle, comfy sandals she had built herself, some kind of magic backpack and a plan, earplugs and an eye mask. She knew she would never sleep, but just in case, she needed a moment. This is on page 25. Maybe I'll start telling you that. Okay. I need my stool again. This one is named, sorry, Blarney Rantasm. What does Blarney have in store for us? This is on page 78. Metal frame seemed wrought or hand-hammered, something heavy, eerily steampunk or Coraline. She felt reluctant but curious. Stellium and Libra acting up again, all retrograde in the 12th house. Two steampunkers ran up to it, matching leather platform boots and black lace parasols faded or highlit by dust. Jumped in, she saw them and felt it swing. One saw her looking. "Come join us, there's room," they said. But no thanks, she said back, felt decidedly averse to / afraid of steampunk still, half inclined to Napoleon Dynamite away, but too shy or lazy maybe. No need, she thought to herself, no thanks, no need, no spoon. Maybe she should find her wagon and drag it to the Oracle, maybe cross paths with Rilke, she imagined idly, maybe change at the costume closet again. Felt like it might be a time for a reloop, reiteration, like her grown-up noise music roommate in Crown Heights said that one time. The same apartment with a stack of old art forums, remembering her first encounter with Ryan Trecarton and Lizzie Fitch in an art forum article at that dining table, 877 Park Place. Now she had no address to Sharpie on her arm. That's on page 78. Next is let's see, this one is Cozy Bromance. Cozy Bromance, SVXXX. What do you have in here? She didn't mean to stop and listen, but she thought she heard Jubilee and felt like she should stay, obviously. This movement, this Jubilee movement, and its stated aims, I think, is a good thing. Those who hold wealth, for the most part these days, do so through theft or second-hand theft at best, and should be stripped of or liberated from their ill-gotten gains. And debtors should have their ledgers wiped clean, a fresh start. A fresh start, but once it's over, the Jubilee turnover, if it ever succeeds, what systems will we put in place to keep inequality, exploitation, etc. from happening again? I mean, I'm sure many of you have already thought about it and have very good answers to this question, but I don't see it mentioned in the movement in a way that makes me hopeful that we'll come out of this and not fall right back into the same traps, at least, without laying the groundwork, disarming the landmines our rotten society has hidden for us, so to speak. R, she thought. R. And then another thing I wonder about the Jubilee movement is which debts can't or shouldn't be forgiven. In what cases is a debt a pledge to amends? What kind of forgivenesses need to be worked for, like the non-financial kinds? I'm not sure that Jubilee can or should be applied to these kinds of debts, the emotional, the spiritual debts in the same way, which suggests to me, I'm just kind of riffing here, that the immaterial realm isn't transactional in the same way. It's on page 86. Almost done with the top row. Okay. This one is called Marble Tomorrow. And let's see. Notes on Jubilee, Ultradella, uncategorized, January 2nd, 2018. It's like, make sure there's a lot of breathing room. Editor's letter, empty space. Off with their bank accounts. Plug and play. Bad idea camp. Corral, cocoon, new tropics. Invisible second festy with roots in Indiana Jones' Kingdom of the Crystal Skull cosmology. Cosplay, pet play, soul play, cold play, contouring, spontaneous regeneration. Sit with the strange memories that stick to you, like notice when they surface and how they make you feel. It's from page 19. Sun sets at 7:55. It's 7:49. Let's see. This one is Doomer Juggalo. Hello, Doomer Juggalo. Did you see the spaghetti sauce on my shirt? Settled onto the foam-covered bench chairs around the kitchen table, she took the baby wipes a different mooper offered her, cleaned the dust from her crevices and surfaces, behind her ears, between her toes, etc., her neck and her forehead. Last dust storm, we watched a whole season of The Office, a mooper laughed. Old TV in an RV at the festy. Sounds comforting, she said, took the food they offered her, delicious, simple sandwiches. Pulled her phone from the charger, found it full of multiple messenger threads stacked on top of each other. Opened the messenger message from her kid first, a cascade of Facebook stickers again, pushing cat wearing a floating heart as a hat over and over again. She sent back a string of her favorite sticker, the dreaming dog, an image of another dog or itself getting petted on the head in its dream bubble. Miss you, love you, have a great day, hug your family, she said, each in its own bubble. It's on page 104. Okay, last one on the top row, and then I can leave my table stool where I thought it would go. I did not practice this. It's kind of an impromptu. Okay, and this one is Spongy Liquid. She felt like a wave curling over upon herself. The mountains were getting closer. There was a flag and they drove toward it, found a gravel road that switched back up into a crag. It's on page 61. Conch not. She remembered The Waves by Virginia Woolf. Its intricate slowness, wanted her story to feel like that. It's poetic in that it draws on punctuation sparingly, asks of space to do that work. The space around her thrummed. She looked up and there was Rilke on the razor. They met eyes with one another, then she looked beyond them. It's on page 41. My mom just got home. She's feeling shy. This one's called Puppy Face Zone. She felt her life and also her world as this heightened state, the hyper-possible, but also grounded in a shared reality, anchored in a common place. Whatever that means, she thought to herself, like, how important is it to have relatable feelings / experiences / etc., even when you and everything around you is made of words that can do anything. It's on page 49. This one is Pinch Snarl. Middle-aged now, slumped in her seat at a stranger's RV in the middle of the salt flats in the middle of a dust storm, carrying all or just most of her memories around with her, chamber of secrets. When she was reading Harry Potter on her bad boyfriend's couch, he hadn't yet ripped off her chest the soft sweater he had given her as a present the Christmas before, but it was soon to come, bled backward into all of her memories of that apartment. When she darted out of the apartment during a heated fight, he chased her and cornered her in the stairwell, put his hands at the V-junction of her sweater, tore it apart off her body. It had been her sweater in so many ways, V-necked and loose-knit, so soft, cloud-like around her. He's married now. She's seen pictures on Facebook. She sits in the disadjacent RV full of friendly strangers and tries not to lament romantic love escaping her so often and for so long now. She has so much love in her life. Page 110. leave my, okay. This one's called Mossy Invisibility. Somehow she feels like even if she tries not to, she's going to find her way to the water. She's heard rumors. It can't just be in her dreams, even. Its magnetic tendrils have stringed into her heart. She's entangled with its presence. She likes just feeling it arise inside her mind. This vision of blue glow stick water looks toxic, but is the most detox. Quivers right on the brim between the two, though. It's on page 6. This one is called Muddy Joy. Polly Shore in that one? Or was that Dude, Where's My Car? She wasn't too sure, but she was thirsty, so she gave it a whirl. It tasted just like coconut water. It's nootropic infused coconut water, said the bartender. You look thirsty. Help yourself. Lifting a glass jug full of the glowing water up onto the iridescent AstroTurf bar top. It's glowing because of the black light, said the bartender. Nice, she said, so thirsty suddenly. Gulping multiple glasses full, taking the bartender at their word. Feeling glowy. Feeling internally forgotten in order to remember herself again or something. It's on page 79 to 80. Okay. This one is Cool Escape Thingy. Like the end scene of Wizard of Oz, she felt like Dorothy. With hugs, she said, wow, you guys are really here. And Anima said, you are here too. We are here for Jubilee, deep Jubilee. And Kenya said, we are here for deep Jubilee with Handed Over Camp. Have you heard of them? They are active in the Jubilee, or that is the movement towards Jubilee. That is a concentrated financial/value restructuring, reparations and decolonization, unwinding and inverting. And Anima said, you made it in time for our inverted art auction. I'm finally getting to actualize my aspiration. Alchemy, the lead to gold of our objects, mobilizing the aura and unhoarding. We've got a bunch of blue chips, living artists, giving their work to the cause. Of course, there are some Banksies. She's amazing. Oops. And we have Eke Homo here, and even some former art hoarders, collectors or whatever, turning over some big ones and some good ones. Not sure how it's going to work exactly, but there's about to be a resource transfer out of the hands of the hoarding class at least. Finally, it's been so powerful to see it come together. I closed it before I saw one page. I'm sorry. Okay, just a couple more. This one is for Samimi. That's Samimi. Yes, honey. I'm by your playhouse. This one is Luxury Fragment. Yes, babe. Okay, I'll be there in like 5 minutes, okay? Well, okay. I told you never to say that, babe. Well, you want me to come see it really fast? Okay, Mimi wants to show me something on the porch. Okay. Is it the moon?
You see that? It's a real aisle. And it would be over here, but I should see it.
Okay. And the front porch or the back porch?
Back.
Well, intermission.
Something like really beautiful.
What was it?
It was like a plane, and the clouds were like really beautiful. And like there's pink clouds. Ow! Don't kill
Okay,
my
remember to be careful. He just had surgery.
Very close.
I don't know.
Gone where they were like, it kept like the whole entire thing over. And then like even like maybe probably because they just like didn't want even like a little information. Didn't let him know what like a little information. So that's how like one.
Yeah. Well, thank you for trying to show me the beautiful thing, honey.
So
I appreciate that. Okay.
if the cloud comes down, I'll be like, oh my god.
Okay. This is my side yard. Back to my reading space. Okay. Let's see. We'll try this one again. Luxury fragment. All the Vogue.com runway sets she thumbed through before bed and the good dreams they gave her. In the corner of center camp was costume closet. She wanted something long and neon, maybe an oversized hoodie over something silk or microfiber mesh, maybe some fringe. In the center of center camp was a stage. On the stage, there was suddenly a feeling of presence, maybe commotion, some kind of psychic gravity pulling attention toward it. On the other hand, she felt pulled to the costume closet. Reverse polarity, she said to herself as she arrived at the racks of clothing, began thumbing through. There was no floor-length neon slip dress, no oversized hoodie that held her interest. Lots of sequins and mesh, drum majorette. After careful hours relating to each garment, she found her outfit. Lavender, wide-leg parachute overalls, ripstop nylon or wide-wheel corduroy, bib down and straps swooping around the back. Duckling yellow boatneck crop top, fuzzy sweater, outlandishly fuzzy, maybe a jacket with shearling collar and cuffs. It's on page 28. Cuteness has joined the conversation. Okay. This one is dwell and fumble and risk. Like the way she could only tell if she was Carrie or Miranda, depending on which 3 other friends she was holding herself up against. The mooper with 30 collars on was probably the most her, TBH. More her than her, like that White Zombie song. It's on page 103. This one is called Sonic Pink Quilter. Trajectories, their lines of flight, their own quests, maybe. Some outlandish art car shaped like a koosh ball far away in the pink blur, blasting pure moods. Page 46. There's 2 more. This is Daft Punk. Surviving in capitalist ruins, maybe a little like 12 monkeys, using only the symbols available to her, she curved off into a camp close by. Northwest Techno Sub-Thread Camp, the sign said, or maybe AOL MTV chat room camp. Something that made her feel familiar for her earlier online days, maybe something about MySpace. World building, everything made of sand or tiny fruit, whirling pomegranates instead of quarks and muons. Pomegranates. Page 76. Finally, is Surge Loop. Maybe. Echoing in song, soft lift webs. What else would be different? She wished for a way to express more complex aspects of location in reality via verb tense or aspect, mood, beyond third conditional, polyconditional, infinite conditional, branching out and away, receding. So that's that for these selections. I hope someday I'll be able to make an audiobook of, or audio video book of reading the whole thing, but that's not the kind of time I have right now. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you so you could get the gist. Okay, thanks for watching. It's 8:11 p.m.